Antique Quest. Today we're going to talk about mixing styles and periods together and how it works in today's market. Right after this. First off, let me apologize for us not getting out any videos in going on 3 weeks, I think. Life just gets in the way, I'm afraid. We've been really busy, so I apologize to all our subscribers. We'll do our best to try and get one out once a week, but with the auctions and shows and everything else, it's tough to do. So today, what do I mean by styles? Well, I mean anything from Art Deco to Art Nouveau to retro to even to advertising to early Canadiana. There's a lot of styles. There's a lot of differences, and people tended to collect styles in the past. So somebody would be a Canadiana collector, or they'd be an advertising collector, this sort of thing. Sometimes they'd pick up a few, but what we're seeing in today's market is an overall mix, and it really works well together if you can pick the right pieces in the right places. So I have just sort of broken into a bit more of a modern design in the house, mixed in with our early Canadiana, our painted things. It really mixes well, and what it does is it adds a lot of color. So, and it's the same thing with advertising. You can have a house that's early Canadiana and might have a really great early Coke sign or something like that, that just, you know, not an overabundance of any one style, just a good mix, a general good mix for everything. So I'm going to show you a few examples. And one we had here was just showing an old classical statue next to some actually Muller-Fraise glass on the one side and a French piece of pottery on the other. They go great together. They work together. We tended to sell styles all the time in the antique business, so arts and crafts came in, so everything that was arts and crafts came in with it. So you had the furniture, the great dark oak furniture, and then you had the beautiful green slag glass lamps, that sort of thing. So when a style came in, everything with that style came with it. Victorian, when Victorian was in, believe it or not, it was at one time, East Lake furniture could sell like crazy. But the big thing to notice here is that what was junk in 1870 is still junk today. It's only old junk. But in 1870, there were some fabulous things made, and they're still fabulous today. So rather than saying, well, it was my grandmother's and she died at 96, so it's pretty old, so that doesn't mean it's worth anything. It could have been junk then and it's still junk, and because your grandmother was old and owned it doesn't mean the piece has the same age as your grandmother. So these are things to remember. So everything was made in a certain period. Age is one deciding factor. Quality far outweighs age, especially in today's market. A lot of it's design driven today, so they're going for a look rather than the historical significance of a piece. Early Canadiana, collectors of that, they were interested in the history of the piece. They were interested in saving our heritage, which is fabulous. And I have some great pieces in the house, and I love them, and they will mix in with good modern pieces as well, as long as you do it right. Now I've got an early Quebec low buffet, and it's in a really interesting yellowy orange color paint, and that will go with all sorts of modern things, whether it's a piece of pottery or a Chihuly glass bowl, if you can afford one, on top of the table, then that will look great. So I'm just going to show you a few examples around the shop, but I want to show you something that I think looks really great together. And my mom loved orange. I never liked orange. I've come around a bit, and I think these things go together great, so let's show you that. Now this is a very modern chair made by modern sensibilities. And you see it turns into a single bed, but it's a fabulous color, I think, next to that soft pale blue and gray of that early 19th century Ottawa blind cupboard. And if you swing around here, it also seems to go wonderful with that early Georgian chest. Again, the large vase is not of any great age, but they seem to work together. This forged iron fireplace set works well. So don't be afraid to stick modern in with the old. I think it can work out quite well. It's probably the example I really wanted to show you was how well I thought that all went together. And this is just in my store. This isn't my house, so certainly it can be different. But you have an Eames chair and a great old glass desk with some old glass bottles on it, and I think it looks rather good. It's much the same with art. There's a Rothko there. It's a print, of course, but when you need a splash of color next to older pieces, it's all about form and color, really, in the end. All sorts of things can go with other things. And that's when your personal taste comes into things. So just a short little video today, just some food for thought. Get out there and see what you can find, but look for what was good then will still be good today. What was quality then will still be quality today. Don't simply buy because it's old, because junk when it was old is still junk, it's just older junk. So one great place to have a look for that is our best antique show of the whole year anywhere in Nova Scotia is by far the Scarecrow show. Now that happens in late September or early October every year. There's 3 different venues full of antique dealers from all across Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, and there's a lot going on in the town. All sorts of scarecrows and things and statues that people set up everywhere, and vignettes of everything you'd ever want to see. And we're going to just end with a few clips from this year's Scarecrow show that's over now, but plan for it next year. And this is a place where you can find every style, you can find quality, you're going to find the best things available in Nova Scotia. So thanks very much for watching. God bless, and hopefully we'll get some videos out a little more frequently for you. And the Airstream's coming. It's just got a bit of a little roadblock, shall we say. Thanks. Bye-bye.